conjure the positives or the negatives. So, we've taken sides before, we've been in different camps before, but there are people who are instrumental in doing things in such a fashion. Now that the underground systems is being dismantled and everybody is now coming back out to say their own bits, then we can even bring bio-billions in, away from the critical thinkers, because he is also instrumental in certain aspects. He's brave and bold enough to be open, and it's very dynamic. And he understands all the dynamics of play with our judicial process and all that kind of stuff. Maybe he will be working closely with aristocrats on that level, on the legal side of things and all that kind of stuff. So don't rule people out. Bring people together, harmonize the whole process, go through a process of elimination, work out the people you're not going to work with. And for a reason, if Westos is singled out on one side, K Crown is singled out on one side, Comrade Moses is singled out on one side. You see, we're picking them from the respective group they belong to before, but there is something, a role they can play when we are all working together. Otherwise, you will end up bringing new people in who will be learning about the case, and the project or the program will take longer because you have to rope those people in to the process, and then, your risk register then gets even longer, because then the risk that is there is that, we need to wait for this guy to be in tune. We need to wait to exercise a bit of patience here and there. And Richie, you're right about that. We run it like a program, and within that program, there will be different projects. And at the end of the day, as long as money is controlled with accountability, transparency in most cases, then we all can still work together. Everybody is a Mo. I rest my mic.
Can I weigh in? Good morning, everybody. For those who are just coming in, this conversation started from Insider, and then Richie came in, and the idea of a world conference to kind of grab the bull by the horn and relegate the family to the background and let the public be able to fight, because we have come to a point where it is clear now that the family, especially Joseph Aloba, his legal team, all his legal endeavors are futile. So the public is now looking for the way forward, talking about a world conference, international organizations being involved to make sure that we get Mohbad justice. I'm just trying to bring everybody up to speed. So the idea came from Richie that at least the three voices, African TV, Yomi, and Aries, be allowed to work together or encouraged to work together so that their energies or their synergy can bring us this world conference and a better result. Now, conflict of interest, I'm here while this conversation is taking place, and it will be, some people might say I should not speak, and that's why I've been quiet. I actually waited for Aristocrat to speak so I can steal from the wise man some ideas. And and he's spoken what was on my mind. But I'll say to you guys, I have two solutions. Personally, as African TV, in the interest of justice for Mohbad, I'm willing to work with anybody. You've offended me in the past. You've called me names. You took me to court. It doesn't matter. What matters is how do we get Mohbad justice? So me, I'm telling the world, I have no problem working with anybody. And when we start working, if you offend me, I will not shut up. I will tell you. And if you try to steal or scam people, I will call it out. So those are the only conditions for me working with anybody. Don't think that you're God and you make a mistake and somebody should not call you out. So that's that. I'm willing to work with all parties, new people, in the interest of justice for Mohbad, not in the interest of who you are, what you call yourself. Now, solution. The Bible says it is good that we have division for those Christian brothers. And I believe in Muslim, they also have divisions. They have anyhow, they have different divisions in the Islamic religion, as far as I know. And in Christianity, we have a Catholic, Apostolic, 7 days, Sele, and all that. Nothing wrong with any of these people that you have mentioned. Nothing wrong with them working on their own. On their own, nothing wrong. What you as a public need to do is choose whom you think your synergy, you understand their method and you want to work with them. So all parties can operate on their own towards the World Conference and towards the what do you call it? Towards relegating this family and getting justice for Mohbad. So it is not a must. Apostle Paul said it. It is not a must that we must work together, because by having divisions, we begin to understand the strength of everybody, and everybody is able to operate independently and bring their creativity to the best. So that's that. Now, what I hear today is what I call J4M Foundation, Justice for Mohbad Foundation. You guys may not like it, you may not believe it, but what you're doing, you're forming a foundation for Mohbad. And if you really want to operate in this way, you need to select people that you think are real, like the aristocrats, the Richie, the ITs, and whoever is on this platform, and form this J4M Foundation. And if this J4M Foundation is formed, you can now use your executives of this J4M Foundation to liaise with the 3 or 4 or 5 individuals you've mentioned. And between those 3, 4, 5 organizations and the J4M Foundation, you can now share ideas and execute justice for Mohbad. So those are my 2 solutions to the conversation, without bias to anybody. And I'm loving it. I like the ideas that people are trying to move forward. So that's all I can say for now. Thank you.
African TV, in terms of leadership, we don't want to work in silos. We just want, that's a wonderful submission. That's a wonderful submission. Now, one thing I will look at, we only need one leader. Yeah, we're not going to have people working in silo. And for me personally, everybody actually have their own opinion. In terms of leadership, we've given Yomi Fabiyi and Aries the opportunity. It's African TV that's been suppressed all the time. For me, it's high time we gave African TV the opportunity to lead. Based on all our experiences and all our flaws, if we have a leader, we need one, and that's leadership. Just one individual. We can't work in silo anymore. We've done it. It hasn't worked. Yomi Fabiyi is engaged with Aries. Before Yomi Fabiyi, Aries jumped into bed with Yomi Fabiyi. Aries was in bed with African TV already. More Piers Foundation, in guise of chairman, were also working with Aries at the time. So there is a bit of leadership aspect of foundation and all this stuff. Now, this may be the first time that we're going to engineer this process, and we're not going to work as a foundation. We're going to work as concerned citizens of the world. And this is my way of separating, because we're trying to mitigate risks according to what's his name again, Ebony Love, Richie. So mitigation of that risk will then be, we're not going to work in silo anymore. We only want one leader at the top. So the process of elimination, the risk of all the mago manipulation and aspect of swaying out of what is agreed already, we can't have Aries who just jump pure everywhere. From working with Yomi Fabiyi, you engaging with Olori Ebi, you engaging with King White, you are going to sit on other people's platform on Temi's area. We don't need a leader like that. That's not leadership. That is literally Donald Trump, who doesn't know what he's doing, who is going to Iran to say, drop some bomb. As soon as he did that, Iran decided to show Israel some pepper, then at the end of the day, even the B20 and all the $20 billion plus that they put into the process, we have now another pond, which in Iran, if it's correct, what we saw in the last 24 hours, which is now become a shrine. It's now become even useful for Iran. And then people can then go in there as tourists to go and see the result of how they dismantle the so-called nuclear weapon. And that is what you're going to get with Aries. That's what because Aries is not going to sleep. She's not going to sleep. And then when she wakes up, she can just give instruction to anybody to do anything. Anything. Combustion, irate, hands in the pants, any aspect of human being not never having any rest. And you can just give instruction anyhow, and then when we all come together, I did it and that's it, I'm the one at the top, so what do you want to do? Or you're going to work with Yomi Fabi, who's not going to even speak to you unless you drop money in the coffers. Unless you put money in there, he's not going to speak. And if you even want to give you updates, he will say, gift me. You haven't given me lion, and you want me to give you updates. Are those the kind of miscreants that we're going to deal with? We know their flaws. Their flaws are dangerous. Dangerous to the point of starting World War III. So for me, why should we even be mentioning their name right now? Because African TV is here. But if Yomi Fabi or Aries, if either of them are here, do you think we would have been able to moderate ourselves with decorum? No. They would have gone in there. They want to be the leader from anywhere, even if they are not appointed. And they lie. And they just keep telling you lies. At least African TV, whatever the case may be, anything you throw at him, it will tell you exactly what it is, and then you go and do your fact check, and you don't have any fact to bring to the table. It's been transparent, it's been suppressed, it's never been allowed to do anything. Everything is him that is wrong. Everything is him that, so we're going to have to give him kudos when we have to. At least he's honest. At least he hasn't stolen public money. He hasn't done 1.1 million. He hasn't gone somewhere to say, stop donating money to this guy. It's high time we call a spade and not open a foundation yet and just come together as concerned citizens. And then if we're doing it with that transparency and we're working together, we achieve something. Foundation can come later. If we achieve something and result comes out of it and we decide to now sort of like bring the union into a foundation, so be it. But until we achieve something, let's forget about the matter of foundation. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. Sorry, I've been very, very quiet. Well done, everyone. God bless you. I'm going to do something. I'm going to say something, and this is going to be annoying to me as well, because I have a sister. She does this to me, and it annoys me. I have a very fantastic idea, and I'm one of those idea poppers. Although in reality, in my day job, I have to really, really be logical, and I always say that's why I'm very logical in my thinking. But when I'm out of work, I'm very, very on my feet thinking, and have all these fantastic ideas. And she will always come and be a party pooper and be asking me the questions that I have not asked myself, But there are times when you just need to brainstorm, or is it thought shower now they say, without coming in with the reality of what needs to be done. And I'll be like, come on, girl, leave me. Let me just bask in my euphoria of ideas for now. So my question, this is where I'm going to be the party pooper. So we're thinking of a brand new, not really brand new, because the people that will be involved are people that have been involved in one way, shape or form all along. A J4M Foundation, in quote, or whatever we want to call it. Now, this time around, you want to put the family of the victim and relegate them. These are the people that really, ideally, we are kind of finding justice for, right? Because justice for their son really should be justice for them, unless they have a hand in the so-called spying. But anyway, let's assume they don't. Maybe they have in a way, but in an ideal world, justice for Mohbad should be a justice for his family. Until, like I said, if we prove that they're involved. Now, you want to relegate this family to the background. there have been different bodies, like entities and characters that we have described that have been involved in this justice for Mohbad for the past 21 months. Among those bodies, there are people that even believe that the government is an enabler because maybe there's somebody high up there that really knows what's going on, but they are covering for one person, they are covering for another. So this new consortium or whatever we're forming will relegate the family. So obviously the family will not cooperate. They will not comfort willingly unless compelled to give you anything. So you're going to be battling against that. You're going to be battling against those people that have been cashing out, that's the word, they've been cashing out on justice for Mohbad. You're going to be battling against them because they're going to be like, who are these new so-called people that they think they know better? They want to do what we have not been able to achieve in the past 21 months. And you're going to probably be battling against the government because, I'm sorry, on the face value, justice for Mohbad, according to the government, on the face value is they want to send spending. Is it spending? I keep forgetting that guy. And the court and the nurse to one court. That's them. They think that's just well. They believe they've done their conclusion. They've done their autopsy. They've said it is the nurse negligence that killed Mohbad. So as far as they are concerned, homicide, plebiscide, it is the nurse that killed Mohbad. Well, through our negligence that caused the buying of Mohbad, and they're going to charge them to court. So as far as they're concerned, the state resources is engineered towards that, and that's going to be that for them as far as they're concerned. So unless we are towing the government line, unless we're coming up with something new, definitely all this battle that you're going to fight against, you will need resources. And I remember, was it Ebony that said it, or was it Jack? I don't remember, one of those. When we had one of those debate, he said about, it was because money is involved. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of battles that will need to be fought. And then are they gonna be another begin to donate money again? Because like I said, all these things I've described, you're gonna fight a lot of. Are you gonna start another process of donating money and then you now find out another 21 months? I don't want to be a party pooper, like I said, and I don't like the fact that I've kept silent all the while. I came in to be saying this, but if really and truly you want to think about this for justice for Mohbad, maybe for other areas, obviously like we do when we talk about project, you learn from lessons. If we're saying, okay, from what we have learned now from the people that have dealt with this just for one, let's set up something for incoming, maybe future situation that will happen. That might be a different kettle of fish. But if you're still thinking about justice for Mohbad, there's going to be a lot of resistance and there are going to be a lot of resources required. And you better be ready for what's coming ahead if we really want to do that. But I'm very skeptical and I'm very wary of doing this for justice for Mohbad. For future, I hope we don't have things like justice for Mohbad. For like what African TV said, like you said, Justice TV. For future justices, definitely, because yes, people here will be really critical because they've seen what failed or what didn't work for justice for Mohbad. So for the future, yes, I will really be enthusiastic and I will want to throw my weight behind that for the future. But for this justice for Mohbad, unless someone is telling me something brand new with evidence, I'm afraid you got your work cut out for you. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to buttress that. I think one of the important points you made there is simply that we were too trusting at some point, and we obviously did not know what the future actually holds at the time, and we gave all the power to Joseph Aloba. So he's the main complainant. He's the one that lost his son and all that kind of stuff. He's also the one that collected the money. You see? Now, your point, Dolly P, beautiful point. If you're doing this on behalf of the family without getting the family involved, that's one problem. If you put everything together, who are you fighting? The government, without the say-so of the family. The question is, what the hell are you fighting for? Because it's a project team, just like project teams that were there before, working alongside Joseph Aloba directly before everything went wrong and everybody went their respective way. But if you're going to do this without the involvement of the family, and you already believe that the family and the system are ammunition to know how to cover their tracks even further, because you are not working with them, you don't trust them, they don't want to work with you, but all your findings as you're finding them, they're also working in their own respective way, the government on one side, the Baba on that side. And to what benefit? What do we bring out? Okay, we're going to get up to a point where we're going to write petitions. The petitions are not going to go anywhere because you may need Joseph Aloba at the end of the day to sign the petition being the complainant. So it still defeats the object. And you are right about the fact that maybe if we come together now, instrument something of togetherness, work out a process that if something like this comes up in future, we will be the global Nigerian citizens, because we are spread across the globe. So we will be the one that will use the force of, according to Richie, going through the risk assessment and all that kind of stuff. And then in future, it becomes iterative, because we've eliminated all the wastes in the first cycle. We now have learned a lot. We now have a blueprint, and we're now going to inject that blueprint into anything that comes up in future. And what comes up in future may be that the inquest is done, recommendations are in place, and then you now have the DPP and the Attorney General saying, okay, it's only these two people that we're going to take to the higher court. Maybe then those people open new kind of worms. Then, because we've galvanized ourselves and we are ready to attack, we are now attacking that process from that foundation at that point. So I see that you made that point, and I just kind of thought, let me just loan my understanding to your submission.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah.
1 second. IT guy, how can you emerge K Crown into the situation?
So we have K Crown. Then we have what was that guy that spoke earlier? Another sort of like journalist that spoke earlier. What's the
Insider backup.
Yeah, so inside I can work with K Crown as well. You see, this is the thing. These are guys who have done a bit of journalism. Westo has done a bit of journalism. You can actually kind of look at it and think, what you guys talking about? Let the three of them bundle themselves together. Because at this point in time, if you decide that you want to be part of the group, then at that point in time, we all know each other's agenda. We know each other's antecedents, and we know where we've all been. None of us are saints. And if you look at a situation, if K Crown, Westo, and Insider have worked for like different companies before, and they have their flaws, they have their pluses and minus, in terms of their character, and the three of them just meet up somewhere, and it's like, oh my God, my brother, how you doing? Westo, Insider, K Crown, yeah, we work together on that justice for Mohbad. We are now working together, this and that. If you look at anyone that has any experience of journalism, we're not looking for certificates. We have our own biases about everybody, every single one of us, and that will be that. And journalism, at the end of the day, sometimes is a matter of interest for some people that actually become a household name. Look at the Ovation magazine when Ovation magazine started. Look at how this guy now became a household name. Look at how this guy is now touching matters all the way to the federal level, state level. Look at how people kind of welcome and champion his opinion. It is not about whether he has a PhD or not. It's just that he started from somewhere. People started trusting him. And then at the end of the day, he's now being celebrated. And now you listen to him, whether you like it or not. And you see, the thing is, we need to laugh at ourselves. Yeah? If you look at Richie is also an IT guy, just like myself. And sometimes when he brings something up and people are attacking him, antagonizing him and all that, I would jump in and say, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Let's actually look at it from holistically. Someone's making a bit of noise there. Let's have a look at it holistically. And then, yeah, we are now able to jointly work together and enlighten people who are confused. Okay, why? Because I'm the IT guy, and Richie is saying something about IT. You don't want to trust him. Why do you then want to believe the IT guy if the IT guy supports Richie? And we are both IT guys anyway. So these are the things that we need to put into consideration. And for me in life, one thing I will never discount is to say, like someone was saying to, I think it'll take a while for his name to get into my head. The guy that spoke earlier, the journalist that spoke earlier, and it was being attacked by bio-billions who said, 25 years in journalism, what have you achieved? That is all we are as Nigerians. I, the IT guy, I put my hand to my chest today. A lot of my friends that I met along the line that I don't even know from a can of paint, I have worked with them and they've converted from being someone who was servicing aircraft in Bristol is now an IT guy. Someone who was a lawyer when he did his law call to buy in Nigeria, came to the UK, didn't know where to go, is now an IT guy. Someone who did probably BSc in some mass communication or wherever the case may be, where he is today, everybody is now commanding respect, acquiring sort of like success out of the money they've made off IT. And think about that. Now, all of us now, we go to a symposium or a summit somewhere, we are all IT guys. But when I met these guys, they weren't IT guys. So it is not your qualification. It's not a piece of paper. It's your antecedents, it's your character. It's how you warm up to the public. Don't forget Westo was commanding respect. Westo's platform was a platform everybody wanted to be at some point. Something went wrong. He got involved with the boss man. Why am I not even mentioning the boss man? Because the boss man is a bloody Judas. Because the boss man is a devil. The boss man can't work with us. He's not honest. If boss man is honest, he will be a man that will come up with all the information he has in one go, rather than, oh, let me pinch it, let me minimize it. He's boss man on my platform that said, let Wumi cross over to Tanzania. Let's confirm it and you will see what I will do. And I lectured him. We all tutored him. We all schooled him. She's a witness. And she will go to Timbuktu and come back. She will go to Iran, Israel and come back. She will go to America and come back. Never mind Tanzania. Actually, she will even fly on a private jet. And there's nothing you and Yomi Fabiyi can do about all this nonsensical charade of going to the borders. And why would you want to work with Yomi Fabiyi? It's an illiterate. A stark illiterate that doesn't know that Wumi is a witness. A stark illiterate. Give me Yomi Fabiyi's education qualification. I will put goats in a pen with him, and they will still be superior over him. Goats.
IT guy,
Guy,
that is
IT
unfair of
guy.
you to say. Let me tell you the
I say
truth.
what I want to say, my brother.
Listen, IT
And I
guy.
stand by it, so challenge me.
Let me tell you one thing. Sometimes
Yes, go on.
you have your own right to whatever you speak of, whatever
Yes.
your utterances. That's
Yeah.
your own. That's the way you feel.
Oh, I
But
feel
there's
so
one.
happy. I feel so happy.
No. What I'm telling you is not about you feeling happy or sad or whatever. I don't care about how you feel
I
like
am
that.
actually happy. I'm happy.
Let me tell you this.
Like I can articulate myself
Let me tell you this.
my own
Let me
opinion.
tell you this.
Yes.
The moment I sent that request was because when you mentioned Yomi Fabi, what else do you want from me? What else do you
Yomi
want from
Fabi
me?
is a thief. He's a thief who
But
stolen
thief
public
did
money
for
and
you.
delivered
But
nothing.
is it
That's
on
my
TV?
summary.
Let me tell
He
you
has
this.
delivered
guy.
nothing.
Let me
CCTV,
tell
no
you.
show. 3
All
seconds
right.
video, no show.
No
Trying
show.
to get Adura, detach Adura from King White, no show.
Hey, may I ask
And
you
how
a
many
question?
millions of
Let me
naira
just
has he
ask one
gazumped?
question from you, IT guy. What have you done?
Yes. I've
So
just bought
far.
some pair of boxers. I'm gonna give it to you to give to him. What I've done is use my voice.
Listen,
My voice is more superior than yours, and that's the reason why I'm the IT guy.
You're not making any point.
I've used the superiority of my brain,
Let me tell
and
you
I've
this,
actually
IT
put
guy.
money
You cannot
in Joseph Aloba's
let me tell
account.
you. I know
Yomi is not
that
gonna
Yomi
get
will
a
not
dime
come
from
and will
me,
be asking you questions,
but I will buy
will
him
try to defend
boxers and
himself
I will
from
give it to you to
But
give to him.
people like you, IT guy, you know you have been doing this for
Yes.
some time now, and I do not
Yes.
appreciate it. The way
For the
that
past
the way
21
you
months
the way
when you were still in your nappies.
listen. IT guy,
21
let
months
us not
ago,
make
you are
it-
still
let-
in
let
your
it be a-
nappies.
Let it be a very
So you
simple
can't come
conversation.
today and want to come and engage with the
I will
IT
wait for
guy.
you to finish.
You are a maggot,
I
a
think I
worm,
talk.
a colo.
I'm going to move to you now.
You are nothing but a miscreant, a
Finish
maggot,
whatever you want to say.
IT guy,
Let me
a
come in.
good for nothing
Finish
follower
Finish
who
whatever you
follows
want to say.
Yomi
Then
blindly,
I'll come.
who wipes his
Listen,
bum when he
IT
wants
guy,
to shit.
finish whatever
And
you
you
want
want
to
to come
say.
and start talking nonsense
Finish
here.
whatever you want to say, and I'm going to come.
Bumbleclat you,
I'm
man.
going to say my bit.
Bumbleclat
Say your
you.
bit.
What
Say
you
your
say,
bit. I'm
man?
going to wait.
Can I say something?
Yes.
No, because I don't
Bumbleclat.
understand. And I've come across this. Let me tell you something. I think a few people are just getting to know Yomi Fabi. Yomi Fabi blocked me on his on his Instagram years ago. I'm not going to come and tell you my personal bias, and you know why? He kept on, and I don't know whether some of you know. He was attacking a particular actress. I'm not kidding. 2 years consistently attacking that particular lady. And I asked the question one day, I said, why can't you articulate exactly what this person did? Why continuing to cast aspersion on them? Articulate exactly what they did. Take them to court, take them to police station. You wake up in the morning on your IG and all you are doing is ranting about this person. It's unbecoming of you. And he blocked me. But I'm not going to use that because obviously I don't know what went down. And I was really worried. And as much as we are all, and I'm not going to go, as much as we are all here, there were some things I later found out which kind of made sense when I started to study him. And for that, I have a very big reservation. But IT guy, I'll tell you something. Yomi Fabi is not an illiterate. He is not an illiterate. He is very smart. That is the only reason why someone can say, be comparing Yomi to you, saying, what have you brought to the table? IT guy, did you raise any GoFundMe? Did anybody donate money for you for coat? Nobody donate money for you for small chop, for party. Yet, you are being asked what you brought to the table. But Mr. Yomi Fabi has managed to convince some people that he brought something to the table. You know why? A lot of verbosity. That's the word. A lot of words. Let me tell you something. If you forget about sucking up to people or having this, this is a celebrity. A lot of us Nigerians, maybe because I don't know, it's more in Nigeria. Here, people can love the prime minister but still criticize him. But in Nigeria, once you like someone, they cannot do any wrong. Think about it. You're asking IT guy what he has done. Meanwhile, IT guy has never once said, I've come to justice for Mohbad, I need donation. But it's IT guy you are demanding accountability for. Somebody that was given about $11 million, and even when he was asked on TV, he said the reason people are asking about the accountability for the 11 million naira, I said dollars, sorry, 11 million naira, is because they have a poverty mentality. It is true. But yeah, you will be asking for money, oh my geology, when you have a poverty mentality. At the same time, the truth that can coexist. At the same time, you can be accountable with having a poverty mentality, but he managed to sway. Yomi is a smart guy. But I say this to you, what he was doing on Justice for Mohbad, as far as I'm concerned, don't let me talk. Let me talk. Let me
Yomi is here because he's learned the gullible nature of Nigerians. He doesn't have a website. He doesn't have a mission. He doesn't have visions. He's only here to cash in.
Let me bust your brain. They're asking you for accountability. Somebody said when Yomi was new back into Justice for Mohbad, somebody was asking about his antecedent on Babajish, and somebody said, what does that got to do with anything? For goodness sake. When you go to apply for a job, you go with your CV and you go, and whether you believe it or not, people don't understand. Your CV is your antecedent. It shows what you have done, how you have done it, and you prove that to people to say, oh, he can do it. Now, this Mr. Yomi Fabi managed to convince people that Babajish was not guilty, despite the fact that there was CCTV evidence, despite the fact that the guy himself said, Isha Ishuni, it was a setup. Hold on a minute. It was a setup that you walked into. You didn't mean to, blah, blah, blah. But he managed to convince people that the guy did not do, even though the person that did it himself said, Isha Ishuni, I didn't really go all the way. I only did some, but he came out because he has good command of English and he will use some Jermaine, Vaber. People said it didn't happen. Don't we as people do our own investigation? You just hear something because your favorite person said it. You don't go and do your own personal digging and investigation. They took it hook, line, and sinker because Yomi used some wonderful words. The same with 3-second video. Who does that? And now it's you, IT guy, that has been asked to give accountability, not the person that collected the money. That's why Nigeria is why Nigeria is where it is. I've heard this many times. People ask him, at least Yomi is making some move. You don't collect 11 million naira or 5 million. You don't collect 1 million naira to make a move. In fact, if he didn't collect anything, the fact that he said he came for Justice for Mohbad and he's going to find, you don't just make moves, noise.
Allow you to carry on. You see what we have. Someone like this Firefox.
Oh, you hate Yomi. Oh, Auntie Yomi.
Firefox is an omugo. You are an omugo. You know whistleblower is. I'm a whistleblower. She's speaking, and I've asked for an excuse. I have for the excuse. You are an omugo. I am a whistleblower on Justice for Mohbad, and the ass of your boss is out in the open. It's out in the open. The ass of your boss, Yomi Fabiyi, is out in the open. I'm a whistleblower. That is what I've achieved in Justice for Mohbad. I blow whistle. I open their asses up in the open. And your governor, Kebe, is out in the open. Your governor is a thief who have stolen government public money and is ran away for a second time. Is he going to come back? Are you going to tell us if he's going to come back?
He's not going to allow you to speak. He will not allow you to speak.
Oh, Badie,
allow you to speak.
I think can I say something? Firefox, can I say something? Firefox, just chill. You know, I want us to know the IT guy for who IT guy is. Trust me, if you want to keep talking, you're just going to stress your head. An IT guy, that's just IT guy doing IT guy. Please, don't even stress yourself, Firefox. Now, don't stress yourself about IT guy. You know, if I used to be bothered, but now I just go with the flow. You understand? Dolly P, sorry, ma. You see, if Mr. IT guy is talking about Yomi, I would say even if I'm not okay with some things he says, I won't say anything because I feel he's a justice seeker. He's somebody who can criticize anybody. But you see, Dolly P, you that sees no, I see the excuses you make for Wumi every single time. Even something that is obviously wrong that she has done, I see the way you make excuses and you defend this lady. So you coming out now just because IT guy is talking about Yomi, you're trying to take the opportunity to start down talk Mr. Yomi. I just think that you just have to be realistic and stop being biased. When you see something wrong, you say it. Not because this person is not your favorite, then you try to make excuses for them. It's wrong. If you are amongst us here talking about a fellow justice seeker as a team with me, even though you sometimes say you're neutral, though I don't see anything neutral about your submissions, but you say you're neutral. So if you're here going to be talking about a fellow justice seeker, I don't think this is the right place for you to do that. I'm not about anybody. I'm not against anybody talking anything about Yomi. I have my reservation about Mr. Yomi as well. But has he not tried his best? He has tried his best more than myself here talking every day here. He has done his best. People contributed money for him and this and that. Well, if he has gotten results, I don't think we'll be here talking about 11 million. We won't be here saying that. But because we have not gotten results so far, that's why we're all saying this. But Dolly P, please, man.
Say one thing.
If you want
to, please, 1 second, please. Permit me to say something. All the money that was contributed to Yomi, he made a show for it. We had conferences. He did a lot of things. Meanwhile, some people are sitting down. They are sitting their asses down in their living room with their family, and the only thing they can do on the social media is to come out and call him names. That is why Nigeria is what Nigeria is till today. Some people have nothing to contribute into the big, but they are just negative. Anything anybody does is negative. Now now these are the same people that are suggesting new move now. Let's put somebody up there. Let somebody else come and run the race. Let somebody else. Before you even start running the race, you have lost already. If you just try such a thing. You understand? So I will not stress myself. Yes, I'm not stressing myself. Realistic, you can continue what they're saying because they keep calling Yomi, as if he stole their money, as if he stole from somebody. What do people want? What really do they want? What? I don't know.
Governor is a systematic biro criminal, original only, original Jankoriko, who came to the public place to siphon money of the public. Okay, when this guy was going to do his last show, he collected over 10 million. How much did gala cost inside the police canopy? How much did Coca-Cola and Crush cost under the police canopy? We give him the rest of the money.
I'm going to ask you for
giving him the money.
You have the
let him keep it. And he jumped over the fence for a second time. He did an Nollywood movie. He went through Europe. I feel sorry for the son that is even using to collect money off you Gullites. Money of you Gullites. Somebody is a thief. He has stolen. The only thing he can do is to do Nollywood show for us, jump over the fence, run over the fence, jump into a taxi. We buy him pata. We buy him pata kupa. We bought him boxers, and he sits down in there talking nonsense. This guy, Pabolojasi, he's even getting involved in hacking people's phones. He's getting people to hack other people's phone.
Say whatever you like.
Your master is a thief.
I hope you
we
enjoy
have
everything.
rewarded him. As long as he doesn't come back, we'll be happy.
Well, I understand you who you are. I understand you now. And
I don't care what
So
what your permutations are. I don't care what you the deals in your little brain that doesn't even materialize or anything. Because when we started this joint here, we started it. You were still in your nappies. You are still sucking dummy. You are still taking milk, full feeder. And you want to come here and start talking shit. Bumbleclat you.
Yeah, sorry. I'd like to come in there. The Firefox. I'd like to.
Is that for me?
Yeah, no, wait. I'd like to address you. I wanted to refer you to something. Can you hear me properly? So There's a hold on. There is a post on his page about the symposium that was cancelled. Have you, by any chance, read the context of the write-up that he just released? I think 2 days ago, or maybe a day ago. Have you, by any chance,
Oh, I have a feeling you're about to enlighten us, so I will listen.
please, anyone here can just go to his page, read the post that he put up on his what's it called, on his TikTok, explaining how he deposited about, he had a contribution of over 6 million naira, how it was meant to be spent for a particular cause, and how he was not able to get a refund back for all of those things. My question is, for an organized, or what's it called, entity like that, or a platform like that, you don't come and give accountability based on a written statement or like TikTok videos. You need to bring full receipts, agreement between you and the people you gave the project to, and then be transparent. As much as people want to come out and say, oh, this is their observation and their findings, there should be a way to be transparent, which is bringing out full receipts, transactions with these people, and your bank statement. As an NGO, I believe you have to be credible. You have to come up clean and clear. You don't just put a write-up. If anyone goes there and read this write-up, you would definitely laugh. It's not about coming forward to say, oh, this is coming from Team Bumi. See, one thing that I've noticed here is that when you want to try and enlighten people, they make it a team agenda. Oh, because you're Team Bumi, we're not going to listen to you because you're coming here to disrupt the peace between Team Baba and the rest. Let's speak about the fact. Let's emphasize on the truth and not try to subject it to team and divide the attention of people. The fact is there. This post is on his page. I would urge everyone to go and read and then come back to this discussion again. It's just a funny post, to be honest. Thank you very much.
Daps,
Yeah.
IT, I want to beg you. You see, we started this morning with constructive conversation. We started with keen into it. Now, for the guy that came saying it's already dead on arrival, I think that's very bad. That's a very bad statement and a disrespect to Mohbad and to the movement.
Who said that, please?
No, hold on.
Who said that?
Somebody said, no, I'm paraphrasing the word. The summary of that conversation, or what I took, was it is the same people like you. Sir, please, I don't want to engage in argument. Can I make my submission, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, for that statement, that is the same people that want to form another organization. It's dead on arrival. That's why Nigeria is like this. Again, that is an apology to Mohbad and to those who have been suffering, fighting for Mohbad. Any new ways that we can help Mohbad is what we are exploring. So condemning that is very wrong. And maybe that person was not there in the beginning. Now, IT, there was a question before the commotion started. The person has dropped. And you actually responded to the person, but I don't think you responded fully. So, but first I want to beg you, IT, when you're making good moves like this, slow down the jabs and don't give room for people to come and distract from a constructive conversation. Now, I want to respond to that person because the person asked the question like, there's something that he said that it's a big challenge. Be ready to face a big challenge, and you want to relegate the family to the background. The family will fight you. The government will fight you. Those are very strong points, and I appreciate those views from that person. The response is this. First, relegating the family to the background does not mean removing them as the family of Mohbad. It means the public will do those things that we are legally able to do to fight for Mohbad. Such things as petitioning for the petition of Mohbad to be reviewed and the people responsible to be held accountable if they are found wanting. Now, we don't necessarily need the family to do that. It means calling out the police where we, the people, remember the police works for us. Police is your employee. We that the police work for, we believe the police has failed to do their job properly in this area or that area. We don't need the family for those things. And if anywhere, as we proceed, we find out that we need the family for any particular, and let me give you an example. In the foundation for Mohbad that I was starting, at a point, the CAC asked me if I have family permission. And at that time, I had the MOU signed by Joseph Aloba. So for such occurrences, we can engage the family and say, we're fighting for you and here we need this. Whether it's the birth certificate of Mohbad that maybe somebody somewhere along the line requires that we bring. We can go to the mother, we can go to the father, we can go to the wife, and we can go to the family to say we need the birth certificate. So posing it as if without the family we cannot move on, that's wrong. And again, the other aspect of that question was maybe for future occurrences. We don't pray for future occurrence for any of our children, brothers, sisters, mothers, auntie, uncle. We don't pray for them to go through this type of death. But when that formation is active, and you guys said your antecedents, if we start this with Mohbad, and God forbid, because devil will always do devil's act, if something shows up, our experience in justice for Mohbad will be applied in any future occurrence. So the future occurrence, the current incident, that's what we're battling. That's what this formation is all about. So please don't down ideas if you don't understand the motive or the people, the strength and the resources of those doing it. Now, all the NGOs involved, they're doing it individually. I'm doing mine individually with my group. Other groups are doing their own. But if all these groups are able to come into a coalition, my people will be sending me to say, okay, Mr. Larry, that's your group. Go and tell them this. This is what we want to do. And the group will be able to look at what we're doing and say, you guys want to do this? Let's discuss it. Yeah, we think it's good, or we think it's bad, or we think the other group is doing it. So this light bulb idea that's been going on, let's not kill it. Let's not kill it with all this attack. You know, we know the scammers, we know the fraudsters, we know the egos, we know the shouters and angry people. Let's leave them to their pocket. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly, we can manage everything to get Mohbad justice. Getting Mohbad justice is the focal point. Whether A stole B, B stole A, if they bash your guy, the more you defend your guy, the more you allow them to expose your guy. I thought we passed this era of bashing people. So let's not wake it up again. Let everybody prove themselves in the court of law and in the justice for Mohbad. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I really appreciate everything. And I would like to ask just one or two questions. Which category, do you belong to? And I believe people that call people names, they have their excuses for doing such a thing, like they have a reason for doing such things. What do you think they have against Mr. Yomi that you think he didn't do well, that you can do better? That you can do better. Let's even put you in the field on the field of play. Let's say we put you on the field of play right now, because I ask that question the whole time, and I ask IT guy.
I don't think African television should answer. I don't think you should answer, because it'll be just used against him.
He can answer that. He can answer that because
it'll be used against him.
Host, can you please control this discussion? The discussion here is not about personality. If you have something to contribute to the new way these people are trying to fashion new things, do. But when you come defending one person because someone among the panelists has his opinion about them, you are derailing the whole discussion.
Exactly.
We shouldn't allow that. Host, take charge.
That's the reason why I asked that question.
That kind of question, you don't. Asking this question, you are derailing it further. Because the question you are asking is about a personality. We are not here to talk about a personality. We are talking about new agenda.
Aristocrat, get it right.
No.
Hold on.
I've listened to
Hold
you
on.
since. I have listened to you since. You are derailing the discussion.
Maybe
You
let
are
me rephrase.
derailing the discussion.
Let me rephrase it. Listen.
Aristocrats,
Thank you.
can I ask a
Thank you.
Can I ask a question now, please?
Ask a question, please.
Yes,
All right.
Alona.
I already asked the question in the comment section earlier, and I said if we are bringing all these heads, leaders from different group and with different way of seeing things, how are we going to how are we going to resolve
Well, they talk.
how are we going to resolve our interior disagreements? Because
Let
like
me
what
come because I want to talk. And we
can
have
you hear me,
enough.
please? Can you hear me?
If anybody can hear me, please mute me. Mute me if you can hear me. Mute me. Host.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're sounding weird.
All right.
And I believe that it's the
That
followers
we're
that's the
having all these
problem.
heads, all these leaders, all these African TVs, or Iris, Yomi, Westo, and Co coming together to form a unit to help get justice, or to have a group to help get justice furthermore in future also. How are we going to, because everybody have different opinion, and there's no way we will not have issues. Hope is not the issue that will now be coming on public to start fighting each other because Aries disagreed with African TV, because Yomi disagree with an aristocrat, because you know all those kind of things. How are you going to resolve things internally that you will still be a unit to come out to fight for the same cause? Because I'm still seeing the same thing happening now, even on the platform.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. I think the first place we need to take this is number one. All of us must come to the realization that the problem of leadership are their followers. Followers are the biggest problem. Let me take Nigeria, for example. I will tell whoever cares to know, Nigeria as a country does not have any problem. It's a land filled with milk and honey. Nigerians are the problem of Nigeria. And it reflects in everything we do. For example, on this thing we are talking about, people come and say, it is high time we stop this divisiveness. It is high time we stopped it. Now, for us to move forward, let's recognize the specialty of each of the frontiers. Specialty of IT guy, specialty of African television, specialty of Yomi, specialty of Papariano, specialty of African whoever. Let's recognize their specialty. And how do we harness these resources? And I liken it to Real Madrid in 1999 or 1998 to 2022, when Real Madrid had all the best attackers in the world in one team. For their campaign, they never really recuperate the money they used to get those teams. Why? They could not harness the talent. And we said here, to do it, we allow each person to, number one, understand the vision. When they understand the vision, we deal with them in areas where they are strong. Let me take Yomi for example. Yomi is very good in creating awareness. Going for, we will mobilize here, we will mobilize there. Give him mobilization. IT guy is also good in analysis, in his analytic position, looking at things without biases, and let's allow him to do that. But this is what we are going to do. Identifying each person's strength, we bring it to a round table and say this is what area you will handle. But you don't go ahead and execute it. It must be executed together. So when you come with every task you are beginning, it's just like a company with departments. Marketing department, sales department, production, administration, security and all that. When they have a progress meeting, everybody tell you your progress report, and at that meeting, everybody will argue what they have to argue out, and they will set the agenda of what has to be done. There must be a spokesman, not those people that will be the spokesman. Because you were asked to go and lead protest doesn't mean you will be the spokesman. No, it is the person identified to be telling the public that will be telling the public. So information going out to the public, we go through the designated personality or personnels that will be asked to do that. They are going to have an overall coordinator. So in any case, when there is clashes, everybody will have signed an agreement. You take your dispute to the central sitting and you discuss it. You discuss it. We are going to have, like Ebony said, you are going to have a treasurer. When people contribute money, it goes to that place. It is that person that will disburse it to the third party, not IT guy, not Yomi, not that. Everybody do your plan and bring it to the central, and you can raise money if you have to raise money. But when you now have followers coming always to, no, it will not happen like that, because at the end of the day, you are working from a central organized people. What is important is to harness the resources. One of the biggest problem of this justice for Mohbad from the point of we the public is, number one, we fail to understand that we should be the one leading. If you are leading, you create a channel to discuss with anybody you want to discuss with. You create a dispute resolution mechanism. And if anybody goes out of it, your spokesperson will come out and dissociate the group from that person instantly. You don't wait for it to be discussed. Because when you have explored your disciplinary or conflict resolution process and the person remain adamant in doing something that is tantamount to the general people's idea, you dissociate yourself. And it should be a public thing. Communication is the best. One of the biggest problems in this justice for Mohbad at the time and in the place of the public is underg, no communication. You can still do underg and you can also communicate. We simply need an avenue where people need to lower their ego, need to lower whatever they come with, and come like someone that wants to learn and contribute. Under a new management, everybody will do their part, but you will be given where your strength is, but you are responsible to the central, and the central is what? Everybody around the table. You will always present your point or what you are asked to go and do, and others will contribute. Everybody, you will now make decision on how to execute it. Chikena is no rocket science. But as long as people always feel someone says this, he will defend, you continue to do it. We don't have to do that. We don't even need to shut it down. An idea can always come up. A foolish idea, most of the time, is the best. But every one of us have one or two things we can add to this thing. And it must come in a constructive way. And it must come in a way that you should also be ready for people to criticize your idea, break it down, and rearrange it so that everybody can agree. Simple. But once we go on headway like this, it will always be the same. It will always be the same. One person should not be, only me will talk. Oh, no. You are good in running. You will be the one to run. However, you listen to instruction. That is how a football team is run. That is how that is how sports are done. In a team sport, everybody can do different things, but you listen to the coach who utilizes you when he needs you, not when you think. Because when you flout that rule, you are putting the whole team into jeopardy. So I think even if this thing has to be done, we should also look at the attribute of a real team player. A team player is not seeking glory, but is seeking glory for the team. And the team player will do his own part and also help others where he feels he can help. I hope I've answered Lona's question. Thank you very much.
Louis, how far? Nah. I
Start
honestly
loaded
think this.
question.
Yeah, the loner's down on the bottom. Let me see who's coming up. J Clock. I don't know about this whole thing, to be honest with you. There's too much division.
I'm happy you said that, host. I'm happy you said that. You don't know about this whole thing, and but people try to bring things up. And from what you see, I have not been disrespectful to anyone. I never disrespected anyone. IT guy, I'm going to tell you this. Before I came up talking about Yomi, you were the one that attacked Yomi first. You were saying things about Yomi. You called him a stag illiterate. And that was the reason why I came up to tell you, you don't have to call a dog bad name just because you want to pie the dog. You don't need to do that. After all, he told you guys he doesn't want problem from his life for his life. He is a successful person anyways. He has his name. Some people want people to believe that people to believe that who wants people to believe that